The receipt in his hand was shaking, not because the price was high, but because he already knew what would happen next. His heart was racing as if he had just done something dangerous, something reckless, something that could destroy his future. The cashier had already moved on to the next customer, but he stood frozen, staring at the number as if it was a warning. It was just groceries. Nothing luxurious, nothing irresponsible. Yet the fear in his chest felt like he had committed a crime. And the worst part was not the money he had spent. It was the voice in his head whispering that one day, this single purchase would be the reason everything collapsed. What he didn't know was that this fear had been controlling his life for years, and by the time he discovered the truth, it had already stolen more than his money. It had stolen his freedom. For most of his life, he believed he was responsible with money. He tracked every expense, avoided luxury, rejected invitations, and delayed every form of pleasure. He was the person friends described as disciplined, careful, and wise. He never went into debt, never wasted money, and always thought about the future. Growing up, he had watched his parents struggle through financial storms that seemed endless. Bills piled up, opportunities disappeared, and every mistake cost them years. He promised himself he would never live like that. He would be different. He would be safe. But slowly, that promise transformed into something else. It became a quiet rule inside his mind. Never lose control. Never be caught unprepared. Never feel the panic he had seen in their eyes. At first, this rule helped him succeed. He saved aggressively, invested cautiously, and built a stable life. But over time, the rule grew stronger, stricter, louder. He began to question every purchase. A simple meal outside felt dangerous. Buying new clothes felt irresponsible. Even necessary spending triggered anxiety. He stopped enjoying money and started fearing it. The numbers in his bank account no longer gave him peace. Instead, they became something he had to protect at all costs. The more he saved, the more he feared losing it. The more secure he became, the more fragile everything felt. The first real crack appeared when an emergency arrived. A family member needed urgent help. The money he had saved could easily solve the problem. But when the moment came, his body froze. His mind screamed that using the money would destroy his future. He hesitated. Not because he didn't care, but because the fear was louder than his logic. That night, he realized something terrifying. The money he had worked so hard to earn was no longer serving him, he was serving it. After that moment, everything changed. The fear spread into every decision. He avoided risks, avoided opportunities, and rejected investments that could grow his wealth. Promotions that required change felt unsafe. Business ideas felt dangerous. Even side hustles that could increase income felt like traps. He believed safety was the goal, but safety slowly turned into stagnation. Years passed. His income remained stable, but his life did not move forward. He watched others take calculated risks, fail, learn, and grow. Meanwhile, he stayed in the same place, protected but trapped. The realization came unexpectedly during a quiet night when he reviewed his finances. The numbers shocked him. He had enough savings to live for years. Enough to take opportunities. Enough to change his life. Yet he still felt poor. In that moment, he understood something most people never see. Wealth is not just about how much money you have. It is about how much fear controls your decisions. He saw that fear had disguised itself as discipline. It had convinced him that safety was success. But true security was not the absence of risk. It was the ability to act despite fear. For the first time, he decided to confront the fear. He made a small but powerful decision. He spent money intentionally, not impulsively. He invested in learning, growth, and opportunities. He started a small side project, not because it was guaranteed to succeed, but because staying still was now more dangerous. The fear did not disappear. It never does. But he stopped obeying it. Each action weakened its power. Each decision restored control. Slowly, his confidence returned. The twist was unexpected. The more he faced his fear, the more stable his life became. Opportunities appeared. Income increased. relationships improved. And the emergency he had feared for years never came. He realized that the real danger was never spending money. It was living in constant fear of losing it. The system he thought was protecting him had been quietly limiting his future. The biggest financial risk was not taking any risk at all. Today, many people live under the same invisible control. They think they are being smart, responsible, and careful. But deep inside, fear decides their choices. Fear delays their dreams. Fear steals time. And time is the one currency that never returns. The lesson is simple but uncomfortable. Money should give you freedom, not anxiety. Discipline without courage becomes a prison. Saving without growth becomes stagnation. Security without action becomes regret. The question is not whether fear exists. It always will. The question is whether it is guiding you or controlling you. Because one day, like him, you may look at your life and realize the cost was never money. It was the years you were too afraid to live. If this story made you think differently about money, type freedom in the comments. Like this video so more people can break free from silent financial fear, and subscribe to Unspoken Finance for more powerful stories about money, side hustles, and the hidden systems shaping your life.